Welcome to our channel. Today, we're embarking on a massive deep dive into the financial psychological thriller that everyone calls turning 30. If you are currently in your 20s, you probably view the age of 30 as some kind of final boss in a video game that you are severely underleveled for. There is this cultural myth that once the clock strikes midnight on your 30th birthday, you should suddenly materialize a mortgage, a pristine luxury car, and a savings account that makes a Swiss banker weep with joy. In reality, most of us just wake up with a slightly more sensitive lower back and a sudden, confusing interest in high-quality air fryers. The pressure is real though, because everyone has an opinion on where you should be. You have probably seen those articles from various banks or financial gurus that throw around numbers like they are playing darts in the dark. One institution might tell you that by 30, you need a savings balance equal to 25% of your annual salary, while another more aggressive source might claim you need at least 1.5 times your annual income just to be considered a functional adult. This tidal wave of conflicting advice can leave a 20-something feeling like they are trying to navigate a dense fog without a compass, a map, or even a flashlight. But here is the secret. There is no universal magic number because everyone's life is a different genre of movie. You might be living a minimalist life in a quiet village or a high-stakes luxury existence in a global metropolis, and your spending habits will reflect that. Instead of fixating on a single arbitrary digit in your bank app, we are going to break down 5 objective, universal wealth goals that focus on building a foundation of financial intelligence that works for anyone, anywhere. The first goal on our list is the absolute necessity of building a rock-solid personal credit score. Think of your credit score as your official adult GPA. It is a record of your reliability that follows you into almost every room where big decisions are made. In our modern, interconnected society, establishing a good credit history is the essential first step to standing on your own 2 feet. It is no longer just about those rare moments when you apply for a massive mortgage or a car loan. These days, young people use credit or installment plans for everything from buying the latest pair of high-end noise-canceling headphones to financing a wedding, renovating a kitchen, or even booking a dream trip across Europe. Your credit score is the gatekeeper. In most countries, it dictates exactly how much money a bank is willing to let you borrow and, more importantly, how much they are going to charge you in interest for the privilege. If you have a high score, you are seen as a VIP guest. You get the lowest rates and the best terms, which can save you a staggering amount of money over a decade. If your score is low, you are essentially paying a bad reputation tax every single month. To give you a hilarious but terrifying example of how much your reputation and history matter, consider the story of a woman in China who tried to cheat a grocery platform. She would buy fresh apples and then repeatedly use a single photo of one rotten apple she found somewhere to claim refunds on her entire orders. She thought she was being clever until the platform's algorithm noticed the pattern. They did not just give her a warning, they banned her account for 900 years. That is effectively a lifetime ban plus several centuries of her descendants being unable to buy fruit on that app. While that is an extreme case of digital fraud, it illustrates the point that once your credit or reputation is tarnished, the world starts closing its doors to you. The silver lining here is that building a great credit score is actually one of the easiest financial tasks to master. You do not need to be a math genius or a stock market wizard. You simply need to pay your bills in full and on time, every single time, and your score will naturally accumulate over the years. Goal number 2 is the Great Purge. You must say a final, unsentimental goodbye to bad debt before you hit 30. Now, before you start feeling guilty about every cent you owe, we need to clarify a very important distinction that many people miss. Not all debt is your enemy. In the world of finance, there is a clear line between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is essentially a tool you use to create more wealth. It is a strategic lever. For example, if you take out a loan for a residential property where your monthly mortgage payment is $1,500, but you manage to rent that property out for $1,800, you have created a winning situation. You are not only paying off your debt using someone else's money, but you are also pocketing a $300 profit every month. Generally, any debt that carries an interest rate lower than 4% and is used to acquire an asset that generates value or income is considered a good investment of borrowed capital. Bad debt, however, is a financial parasite. It generates zero value and slowly drains your life force. The most common form of bad debt is the high-interest credit card balance used to buy things that lose value the second you take them out of the box. We have all been there, tempted by the shiny and the new. As the famous radio host Dave Ramsey once pointed out, we often find ourselves spending money we do not have to buy things we do not actually need just to impress people we do not even like. If you find yourself reaching for a credit card because you cannot afford a luxury item with the cash in your pocket, that is a major red flag. That item is not a necessity. It is a weight tied to your ankle. Your goal by 30 should be to eliminate any debt that has an interest rate higher than 5%, because at that level, the interest is eating your potential profits faster than you can earn them. Before you take on any new loan, you have to be cold and calculating. Do the math, look at the interest, and ask yourself if this is a ladder to wealth or a hole in your pocket. Goal number 3 is to shift your focus from what you earn to what you invest, specifically aiming to put away 1.5 times your annual expenses into your future every year. Many of us are told to save for retirement, but the word retirement feels so far away when you are 25 that it is hard to take it seriously. Whether you are counting on a government pension or the traditional idea of children taking care of their parents, nothing provides more peace of mind than having your own private gold mine. Now, some banks will tell you that you should have saved 1 times your annual income by the time you reach 30. While that sounds like a solid plan, there is a fundamental flaw in using your income as the benchmark. Your income is a moving target. The decade between your early 20s and your early 30s is often a period of explosive career growth. Think about a 22-year-old human resources intern who might be earning £20,000 a year. Fast forward 8 years, and that same person, now a senior HR manager with nearly a decade of experience, could easily be making £80,000. If you started your savings plan based on that intern's salary, you would be woefully underprepared for the lifestyle you lead as a manager. Furthermore, everyone's spending habits are unique, and your expenses change as you move through different stages of life. This is why we suggest a more robust calculation. Ignore the salary and look at your actual lifestyle costs. Add up everything you spend in a year, including your rent or mortgage, your utility bills, your grocery runs, your travel budget, and even those weekend outings. Take that total annual expenditure and multiply it by 1.5. That is the target amount you should be aiming to funnel into your investment or retirement accounts. By basing your goals on your actual expenses rather than a fluctuating salary, you ensure that no matter how much your income grows or shrinks, your future self will be able to maintain the lifestyle you are accustomed to without having to make painful sacrifices. Goal number 4 is to diversify your survival by having at least 2 distinct sources of income before you reach 30. If you look at the truly wealthy people in the world, they almost never rely on a single paycheck. Most of them have at least 7 different streams of income flowing into their accounts. For the rest of us, relying on just one source of income, typically a traditional job, is a bit like walking a tightrope without a net. We like to tell ourselves our jobs are stable, but history tells a different story. In 2018 alone, there were 21 million unemployed people in the United States, and the global events of 2020 prove just how quickly even the most secure industries can be brought to a standstill. Having a second source of income is not just about getting rich, it is about insurance. It ensures that if one door closes, you are not left standing in the rain. The best way to build a second stream is to look at what you already do well and find a way to leverage it. Let's take the real estate industry as an example. Suppose your main job is working as a property agent, where you earn commissions by helping landlords find tenants. That is your primary income. As you spend years in that industry, you gain deep knowledge of which neighborhoods are rising and which properties are undervalued. Eventually, you use your savings to buy your own investment property. Now, you are the landlord, and the monthly rent you collect becomes your second source of income. But you don't have to stop there. You could then take all that expertise and start a YouTube channel or an online course teaching others how to manage properties or invest in real estate. Suddenly, you have a third stream of income. Even if your day job doesn't have a natural side hustle progression, you can still create a second stream by taking your extra cash and putting it into the stock market or starting a small weekend business. The goal is to make sure your financial survival is never dependent on the whims of a single employer. Finally, goal number 5 is to master the art of the 25% savings rate. Now, when we talk about saving 25% of your monthly income, we're not suggesting you live like a monk and never enjoy a cup of coffee again. This is not about being cheap. It is about building the capital you need to actually start playing the game of investing. You can have the best investment strategy in the world, but if you have $0 to put into it, you are just a spectator. Most people fail to build wealth not because they don't earn enough, but because they have no idea where their money is actually going. They suffer from lifestyle creep, where every pay raise is immediately swallowed up by a bigger apartment or a fancier car. The first step to hitting this 25% goal is to become an investigator of your own life. Use an app or a simple notebook to track every single cent you spend for a month. When you see it all laid out, you will realize how much money is being leaked into things that don't actually make you happier. Look at the lessons many people learned during the lockdowns, when we were forced to stay home and cook for ourselves. Many people were shocked by how much they saved by not constantly ordering takeout or eating at expensive restaurants. They realized that home cooking was not only healthier, but was a massive financial engine that freed up cash for investing. You do not need a global pandemic to learn that lesson. You just need to review your own spending habits and cut out the fluff that isn't adding value to your life. When you consistently set aside 25% of your income for investment, you are tapping into the most powerful force in the financial universe, compound interest. The math is clear. The earlier you start and the more consistently you contribute, the faster that money starts growing on its own. In conclusion, these 5 goals are not just boxes to check so you can feel good about yourself on your 30th birthday. They are about shifting your mindset and building habits that will serve you for the next 50 years. Whether you are living in a crowded city apartment or a quiet house in the country, and regardless of what kind of lifestyle you dream of, these principles are universal tools that anyone can start using right now. The real secret to financial success isn't finding a get-rich-quick scheme. It is the learn and then actually do philosophy. Knowledge is only power if you put it into practice and stay consistent through the ups and downs of life. We would love to hear from you. Do you have your own financial milestones or clever tricks for saving money that we didn't cover today? Please share them in the comments below so we can all learn from each other's experiences. If you found this deep dive helpful and it gave you a bit of clarity for your financial journey, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us create more content like this. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so you are the first to know when we release our next video. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.